Hello YouTube, Jumpy23 here. Welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC. Today we'll be covering Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is the first map with access to the Preparations menu, which lets me undeploy and deploy units, swap items around, swap their deployment positions, etc. So, everybody wave goodbye to Gilliam, you'll never see him again. Seth is going to take a Javelin in this prep sequence, and he's going to use it a whole lot in this map. So far he's only gotten sword kills, but you'll start to see why I was sweating about getting him S swords before S lances, because he's going to do a lot of Jav combat. I think this map is a really good intro to LTCing. It looks like a wide open route map, but there's actually like one objectively correct solution to get a 2-turn, and all the pieces fall into place really easily when you look. So if you're interested in trying out LTC, maybe pause this video, patch your legally acquired FE8 ROM to be 0% growth, and try this one out on your own. Alright, here's the answer key. Only Seth can kill the boss, then only Garcia can kill the 3 Bonewalker reinforcements on the right, then only Vanessa can kill the far south Bonewalker by Lute's village, and then only Franz can kill the lone Revenant by Lute's village. So these restrictions really tightly control starting positions, turn 1 movement, etc. And they also tightly control which enemies we can feed to Ross. There are only 4, one of which blocks Franz's path on turn 2 and is really hard to feed to Ross. The other 3 we do successfully feed him, and since I couldn't improve it all over graded sticks Ross feeding, I just copied his clear. Vanessa attacked the snag with an Iron Lance to force that Revenant to target her. Otherwise, it would attack Colm, and the Bonewalker that attacks Colm would attack Vanessa instead. Since we need Colm to kill whoever is blocking the snag on player phase 2, and we need him to dodge every attack, this will make it less reliable. We need Colm to dodge every attack so that enemies prioritize attacking Ross over Colm. Those Moguls are what force Seth to do everything with the Javelin since they attack from 2 range, and this is a route map, so killing enemies is important. Moulder heals Ross from the south here because the Bonewalker will attack Ross over Moulder, but the Revenant will attack Moulder over Ross, so we need Moulder to be outside of the Revenant's range. Fortunately, they only have 4 moves, so that's fairly easy to do. And then Erica blocks off the forest there, so that the enemies are forced to attack Ross from the plain. Not only does the forest grant 20 avoid, but also it grants 1 defense, which would have forced Ross to use a steel axe, so that would be 30 avoid. It's a big swing. That prevents us from visiting the Iron Axe village, but it's just an Iron Axe. It's far better to take the reliability. Speaking of villages, you might be thinking, hold on, you didn't visit Lute's village with any of your units. I thought this was full recruit. But actually, she just joins at the end of the map if you don't visit her village, so we don't need to. Speaking of new units, Arthur is a unit who does join in this map. He's a light mage and he can promote to Bishop, so in gross LTCs he gets used because Bishop has a high staff rank, and it also has combat, so he gains mag levels faster than Moulder for a big warp range. This LTC does not have growths, so Arthur is going to be stuck at 5 warp range just like Moulder. And Slayer is also worthless on Ephraim Route, compared to Erica Route where it actually has uses even in 0% growths. So we won't be using our turret really at all. There's a few places early on where Magical Chip is nice, but he's actually outclassed by Lute there because she has better weapons. Unpromoted monsters are really infamous for being pathetic in FE8, and I think nothing shows it better than the fact that Ross just took 2 hits and survived on a single enemy phase. Granted, he was standing on a forest, but even with the forest, this is the only time in the entire playthrough where he'd be able to take 2 hits. Promoted monsters are also pretty pathetic as promoted enemies go, but they do show up pretty early. This is the first promoted enemy in the game. Blink and you'll miss it. Instead, you just see Seth's XP bar going up because he gets a full level off of the kill. This is Seth XP in early game FE8. And that is Chapter 4 completed in 2 turns. Thanks for watching.